now we have our guest co-host in today who created her own successful big fat Indian wedding. So she and her husband decided to help others with theirs. Please welcome to the show, Gauri Chadha, the creative director of the Big Night Events. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us. We're very excited to be here.
And so you may have heard, Lane likes a big wedding. Amy likes no wedding at all. I like a low-key wedding. Tell us about your wedding. How did it go?
Well, my personal wedding.
Yes, your personal
Oh
wedding.
my goodness. So I actually come from a background in film and theater. And when we were planning our wedding, I wanted to go all out. I mean, being born Indian has some privileges because Indian weddings are a production in themselves. Yeah. But then I found the man, and my husband said, I just want a one-day wedding. I mean, as low-key as you could possibly get. That never happened. We had a 5-day wedding across Dubai in 2016. So next year will be 10 years. And it was beautiful. I found myself using a lot of my creativity from film and theater coming into events. And I remember sitting at my reception feeling quite hollow. And I couldn't understand. I mean, I had everything I had asked for. Everything was around me, the people I love. But I felt everything was flat. There were no stories. And that's when my idea kind of sparked, and I said, why can't we tell stories through events? Why can't we bring this to life? You know, all of us as individuals are so unique, and that everyone has a story, each and every one of us. So that kind of passion developed to say, why can't we tell stories and tell your story or your story through your experience of a wedding? Coming from a creative background, no idea how to run a business. And then I dragged my husband in, and now we're coming into 9 years of running our business together.
Fantastic. Now, a 5-day wedding, I've got to say, sounds very expensive. So let's jump straight in and talk about budgeting. So what do you think a couple generally needs to budget for a wedding in Dubai?
So that's a very...
Take notes.
Yeah. How much does it cost?
I mean, I love the question in itself because it's so subjective,
varied,
right?
Yeah. Throw in hidden fees as well.
Well, that's the thing. A good planner will never, spark up hidden fees on you. A good planner really becomes your friend and an extension of your family in the process. Guys, it's a lot to get married, financially, but also mentally and emotionally. And there are many options out there, but budgets, it varies greatly. Firstly, culture plays a role. Are we talking about a one-day intimate wedding? Are we having, a rehearsal dinner? Or are we talking about, an Indian, spectacle that's, over multiple days? Number 2, destination plays a role. Are we looking at, localizing ourselves within Dubai? Abu Dhabi, for example, brings a different positivity onto the board. But if you're looking globally, every destination has something different to offer. When you look at budgets, things are really broken into starting with the venue. What does the venue really require? I heard, well, earlier, I think you were saying that, you got a package deal.
Yeah.
Yes, you do get a package deal, but are you getting the quality that you're after? What kind of bride and groom are you? Is quality something that's important to you? What are your top 3 priorities? Is it the photographer? Is it, I want my flowers to be absolutely stunning. I want fresh florals everywhere. Or do you envision an amazing beach sunset wedding? Any venue will charge you a fee. Let's say if we're talking dollars, maybe we look at $50,000 that comes in. From that should cover your F&B, it should cover your venue rental, and then everything adds on. How big is big? I mean, we're the big night, so I don't know. Scalability is so vast. I mean, even if I look at different types of events, we've done a 1-year-old birthday that is in exuberance.
I want to ask, if you can answer, the most expensive event that you planned, how much are we talking?
I would say between $10 to $12 million.
Oh my
Dollars?
gosh, I love it!
Wow.
For a 1-year-old.
That was Lane's wedding, wasn't it?
That was my wedding, no, I'm joking.
That was for the 1-year-old's birthday party, not even the wedding.
What? Did he have a good birthday?
Performing? There had to be a performer.
Yes,
Who
so
was
we
the performer?
Christina Aguilera.
We work with a lot of international celebrities. So across the board, also obviously coming, catering towards the Indian market, Bollywood, in itself is a galore of, different performers. For that, we had about 12 different international artists flying in. Artists that within the Indian segment that don't usually do private events. So for some of them, it was like their 5th private event ever in their career. Aside from them, we also do a lot with celebrities. So from the likes of last year at New Year's Eve, we had Craig David, Fat Joe, we've done Akon, Tyga, Ja Rule, a lot.
Don't worry, Faris.
But
I
we're
will sing
lifestyle.
at your wedding for free.
No, I want Ja Rule at
Lynn,
my wedding.
Lynn and I are going to sing for free.
Nah, Ja Rule's at mine.
I always think, so let's take it back to the beginning in terms of lack of budget. So what if I've only got 30,000 dirhams?
So I think there's a planner for everyone. You know, it doesn't mean that having a budget means that you cannot get married. You can, but it could be a different kind of celebration. You know, if you're looking for a spectacular kind of 5-day, experience, of course not. We have to align expectations and budgets. We all see those memes, right, where it's like client expectation, budget. But things are possible. Maybe it could be something a bit more intimate. Maybe it could just be one beautiful dinner laid out, with one long table, intimate guests, and something meaningful. What is that story? Is it how we write it on the tablescape? What do people receive when they sit down at their seat? What is it that connects you to your guests? At the end of the day, I always say, and I'm very passionate about this, that every day I wake up and I feel blessed that I am in the business of making people happy.
Is there any advice you have for new couples who are going to get married on hacks they can use to maybe bring down the budget in certain areas?
Hire a wedding planner. Actually, that's a very good question, because a lot of couples come to us and they say, oh, we've done this all, or for example, I've gone to the venue, I've already signed my contract, and then they approach us. Now, we come in with years of experience and relationship where we know what needs to be in the contract. Have you looked at the idea of setup days? What are your setup times that are allocated? If you have a particular vision in mind, but we as planners don't have the ballroom accessible to us prior, we're not going to be able to achieve it. Corkage comes into play. How are we, going about things when we're working with the venue? Is your cake included? Some venues do, some venues don't. So when you really bring on your wedding planner at the right point, we actually save you money. I think that's one of the biggest myths in our industry, that, oh, I'll just do it all by myself. And then they come to a wedding planner. We're actually on your side. We're here to, make sure you get value. And for us as a husband and wife run duo, that's something we're really passionate about. We treat every event like it's our own. So even if we're going big, bold, and brave and doing the craziest things, we're quite known for our experiential experiences, whether for a wedding, for example, we had a bride and groom born on the same day. And what we did was we named stars in the sky for them.
Amazing.
So meaningful, so beautiful. It's not about the budget, but each person left with a memory as a giveaway of a star in the sky in their constellation.
That's beautiful.
Or for example, we've done events where we've had skydivers in the sky jumping at 6,000 feet, and as they jumped off above in Dubai, they had 20-meter fireworks from their legs, just flying over the venue, because the experience was about being limitless. So we're storytellers. We love to get under the skin. We love to know, who are you, Now, as you're in this journey, what makes both of you you? How do I tell that story, and how do I make you feel when you're standing at your wedding that this is the most wholesome, heartwarming experience you've had? I think that's where, if the right planner connects with you, can really understand what makes your heart pulse. Even though right now you're not feeling it, trust me, you will.
So basically what you're saying, the lack of money makes you get more creative.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Depending. Depending.
Right,
Don't
cool.
quote me on that, but depending.
Right,
I'm very creative, if that's...
There's a balance. You have to balance it, and that's why for us as business partners, as we're both Dubai kids really, and kind of growing this together, is a balance of financial and creative.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for all your tips and tricks and advice so far. You're going to be with us for the whole duration, so that's cool. Stick with us.